Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim. This guy over here is Jamie. This is Breaking the Code. One topic, no script. And today we've got kind of an interesting one for you. So this is a topic that Jamie came up with, and it is single issues versus trades. So, Jamie, why don't you go ahead and take that away?
Okay, so I it just comes from the purest of heart
Okay.
when I came up with this topic, because over the years I have always just gotten single issues.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand trades. I couldn't. I told myself I would never buy a trade in my life, and then I did. Um, but then I continued those trades, and we had one canceled, and it just stopped.
Which one
So
was it?
obviously the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern series, it had two trades, and then DC's like, nope.
That's enough. We're not
Yeah,
going to do anymore.
two's good enough. They can live with that. That's what I got out of the deal. So the reason for this is, what do you see more of you doing? And for me, I've always been a single issue kind of guy. Now, I'm not knocking trades by any means. There's a lot of people that collect the omnibuses from to Epic Collections to certain people get the Master Marvel works.
Yeah.
Indie, it's hit or miss. But for me, it's always gonna be single issues. And the problem with not problem, but the problem I come across is
The
that
concern.
sometimes the concern, the pandemic of single issues and trades in our world today in society, is when you're looking for certain issues, they could be a little pricey. Especially if you're looking back, 60s, 70s, 80s, first appearances, list goes on and on and on. So a couple of things I've had to do is pick up trades to fill in those gaps, so that way I can have those. But I'm always going to be that single issue guy. So if I'm spending $100 on a trade and one issue is $100 and the rest I can find at 25-cent bin at any local comic shop, I'm going that route.
Okay, I can understand that.
And, it irks me when people, I don't know, I think I've gotten soft in my old age. It irks me when people can't have the best of both worlds. Me, I'm always going to be, if I can get the single issue, I'm going to do that. But I think about it. With trades, like I said, though, it gives you so much hope, and then they just let you down. I mean, it's my life story, but it feels like, to me, at least with single issues, they're still out there. Once they run out of reprints of omnibuses or trades, there's nothing really much you can do except go on eBay, and that $100 book you just wanted to buy is 150, 200, plus, because of the fact that they're out of print. Where I can go to a Comic-Con or a comic shop and find the issue for, like I said, the same amount, and then get the story around it.
Let me go ahead and throw my point of view in this. So
go for it.
So, okay. I love single issues. Obviously, I have 3,000 of them sitting right over here on this side. You have twice that number in your area alone. Yes. And I'm sure people watching this have astronomical amounts above what you and I have.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to assume that we all love single issues. However, with that being said, I am not totally against trades, because and here's the thing. Like when I order my books online, when I do shopping for comics online, I'll get whatever single issues I want. And I always make sure that I pick up a trade with whatever particular title I'm reading. And there's two right now. So Marvel Zombies and Bendis's first run with the New Avengers. So I think I've got trades 1 through 6 for the New Avengers and Marvel Zombies 1 through 4 in trade format. Those are excellent because with my son, Ethan, Ethan, I can sit down and show these things to him, and I don't have to slip out my first appearance of Ronin and have him put on acid-free, dust-free, no fingerprint gloves to read that issue. He can sit down and he can read the trade and get to experience the same amount of joy that I did when Ronin was introduced for the first time. Now, like you said, single issues can and do get expensive. Especially today with the price of books when you go and buy your weekly pulls or your monthly pulls. I mean, $3.99 for an issue. That's, you got to pick and choose what you want, and that I think is where the benefit of trades come in. Like Saga, when Saga came out, I could
Nice plug, by the way.
I couldn't have given two squats about Saga when it came out.
Okay, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, do not listen to this man. He is completely wrong. That's another topic for another breaking news.
With that being said, with the amount of love that you have shown that book and Sonny's enthusiastic review of him getting the trade for
it's
Christmas,
the best epic you will ever watch it. If you haven't seen it yet, go look at his Christmas
the mail
call that I sent him.
So with that right there, that has rekindled an interest in wanting to check out Saga. And another thing, Oblivion Song, I would have never knew anything about looking towards that unless with the exception of you sending me the trade. So that's another reason where the trades have come in.
Well, with that, and I'm gonna kind of piggyback off you there, is yeah, that's great, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, or if you've read it yet. I'm glad.
I've read Oblivion Song. Oblivion Song is amazing.
Yes, it is, and I'm sad because it's ending in 2 issues, and I'm gonna cry, and I'm be on live one day, and I'm just gonna be in tears.
Yeah.
But the problem is for me is there's okay, let's just say you did your review of Ma. Okay.
Yep.
I want to read Ma. Let's just say Ma skyrockets in price. It's $100 an issue. I don't want to spend $100 an issue. I rather get the trade.
Yep, go get the trade.
Problem is, trade might not be promised. It might be not worthy enough of a trade, so they will never make the trade.
Well, it's worthy of a trade. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes,
so.
But in
the hypothetical sense that you're talking about, I hear you. I agree.
And also when you come to reading orders, I'm the type of person that wants to, if I'm getting into something and it's a crossover and there's 7 different, books that follow it, I have this problem mentally, I guess. You could say that I want to read it all.
Well, you're like a completionist. You want to get started right from the start of where the seeds are planted for that story all the way through to the aftermath and the epilogue. I get that too, because then you don't miss anything.
Yeah. So we were talking about this week in our chat, and we bring it up all the time. We chat in our groups that we kind of brainstorm, get ideas, throw them off each other. I wanted to get into X-Men more. I know I've said a lot of bad things about X-Men, and I still stand by them. But we were talking about, what's the storyline?
Onslaught. Yeah.
Onslaught. And I was like, hey,
Massacre.
I want to see what these are about. And literally you sent me a reading order that had the omnibuses.
Yeah.
And the trades. The problem is the reading order I found, which was all single issues, there was about 10 issues missing from the trades and omnibuses.
Okay.
So there's a lot of times that when you look into trades and omnibuses, you're not getting those certain single issues, so you got to kind of fit them in.
So let me squeeze in there, because that is the part that I 100% agree with you on. There are some trades and omnibuses that I have sitting over here that are missing issues, and it drives me bananas that they don't include those. Yeah. So like with, what is it? Like Infinity Gauntlet. Okay. So the main thing is tied into 6 issues, right? But Spider-Man number 17 is an unofficial tie-in to Infinity Gauntlet. That's not included in any of the trades or any of the epic collections or anything like that. And even though it's a standalone story, it's still essential to the story itself of what's going on with Infinity Gauntlet, and seeing the sheer amount of power that Thanos has while he has those stones. What else is there? I think there's
here's one for you, because I was doing a little bit of research, and I'm one to dabble. So I'm getting to that point in where I'm at now, where I don't really want to dig through 40 boxes to find certain issues.
Yeah.
And if I want to read it as a complete, that's what I'm dwindled down to. So if I have a little bit of extra cash, I want to make sure that I can probably get an omnibus and see. Right. I found the 10th anniversary of Blackest Night. For those who don't know, I am a big Green Lantern fan. If you can't tell from that, this, than when you guys used to look into my closet.
Is issue 0 in that omnibus?
Issue 0 is, but it's missing like 20 important issues, and it's the 10th anniversary. And I'm just sitting there like, that's not complete to me. Like, you're missing some of the core. Like, it's only encapsulating so much from the corpse. It's only encapsulating so much from the actual Jeff Johns run into it. And you don't get that same feel as if you read it in single issues when they came out. Now, I could sit here all day and wait for, let's just say, right now I'm reading regarding the body of, regarding Oswald's body from Boom Studios, right? Now, if I didn't collect that first issue for the A cover is already sold out.
Well, let me ask you this though, like with the Green Lantern stuff for Blackest Night, are the issues that they're omitting from the omnibus, are they official tie-ins, or are they just part of the regular?
Yeah, they're official tie-ins. It literally says on, like, let's just put
Blackest Night.
It says Blackest Night right on top. It had a couple issues from JSA, a couple issues from Titans. It was missing, I believe, the Justice League tie-ins for it. It was
missing that's important.
It was missing like the Green Arrow, what was happening, and that was only 2 issues. It's like, I'm not gonna sit there and pay $100 for something and it missed the issues. I'd rather go through and dig.
Right. I get that. I get that.
And that's the sad part. Like, most people are missing out on certain things. Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he's like, hey, where do I start with Transformers? Right. And I've been doing a lot of looking at Transformers, and I have
IDW or Marvel,
and I was looking at some of the trades. You know that they went up to, I think it was for IDW, it was the 5th trade, or 5th, like their compendium.
Their classics.
Yeah.
They
needed 6, 7, and 8. They canceled it at 5.
Why?
Sales? Well, I don't know, but
that's the first thing that comes to mind is sales. Are enough people buying it? As many people that scream and yell at the top of the mountain for how good the artwork and storytelling is for Transformers, are the numbers telling the same story though? Yeah.
And that's the thing. And you can't, that's not a gamble I'm willing to take.
Right.
Am I going to pay, $4,000 for showcase number 22 for the first appearance of Hal Jordan? If I had the money, I would. But
I got it.
Like, I have, and that's another thing. That's the part that drives me nuts. I have the first 4 volumes of Silver Age Green Lantern, where it encapsulates all that. And the last volume, which was 4, came out in 2019.
Is that the archives that DC put out that they don't do anymore?
No, it's not archives.
Okay.
So this is actually like it's just a Silver Age thing. They did it for the Flash. They did it for
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I let's see. Ooh, no, I can't see it. I can't turn enough. But they're up on my shelf, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read those. But I wanted to read them up until a point that I can start from where I started collecting once it stopped getting as expensive. And they're not releasing them anymore. Come to find out. So I just spent all that money to have 4 trades and then try to find the other issues that I'm never going to be able to afford. And that's the thing. It comes up to, do I read the story then straight on my DC Infinite or Marvel app? And they don't even have some of the stories.
No, they don't. They're incomplete too.
Yeah. So what do you, in that world, what do you do? So for me,
I've got a solution for you.
Ooh, go for it.
You can do the custom omnibuses that people do.
Yeah, that's binding, and I don't want to take my comics and do that.
Well, if you get books specifically for that, like the covers are shot or whatever else, and you send them off to get binded, that'd be pretty awesome. I've seen some pretty epic custom omnibuses that people have put a lot of time and effort into.
DC's dropping the ball because of the fact that they haven't released anything Silver Age Superman. Like nothing.
Yeah.
But like they talked about it, but then they're like,
well, like
he's a cash cow. How are you not going to be able to do that?
Here's a shout out to one of the channels that you turned me on to, and that's a Near Mint Condition.
Yeah, shout out to them, those guys, because they're one of the ones that I'm like, maybe I'll start checking out omnibuses. And then once he started talking, I'm like, maybe I should.
Well, I was watching the Superman reading order, the
Hmm.
first episode for that, and he was showing like the first 4 volumes of what they had called the Man of Steel. And it wasn't for the Man of Steel title, it was for overall Superman. So that was Superman Adventures, Action Comics, Man of Steel,
Add the adjective here.
right, everything. And I'm like, well, I get that. I see what they're doing. They're doing it in chronological order as
Hmm.
much as they can. But what if people want Man of Steel specific, or what if people want Adventures of Superman specific, and they're not really
Exactly.
into what was going on in Action Comics or the Man of Tomorrow or anything like that. Now, when it comes to the death of, the return and reign of the Superman, yeah, you need all of those different titles collected into one. But even with the return of Superman, they leave out, and even the death of Superman, they leave out both Justice League issues. And
Yes.
those are important issues. Like the Justice League issue for the death of Superman, when he's fighting Doomsday, Doomsday kicks the snot out of the Justice League, and you can't skip that. You have to read that through what's going on. So that way, when you get to the next issue in Superman and you see Blood Rain and Magma and Fire and Ice and
Right.
Blue Beetle on the verge of death, you're not like, what just happened here? What did I miss?
Yeah.
You
It feels
didn't
like you
read
just missed
Justice League
everything.
67. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's important.
so I guess where I'm falling in at is I'm not against omnibuses. If you're a reader of them, that's your world.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know people that's strictly all they collect. Sonny's
Yeah.
one of those people. I mean, he's starting to break a little bit more now that we got him, reading like
Yeah.
Dark Ages and stuff like that.
Different things. Yeah.
But the point is if that's your quiche, awesome. For me, I'll only get it now, and this is 110%, if it collects the whole run
Mm-hmm.
or if it is actually accurate.
Right.
Like you sent me, and again for the whole Christmas thing, we kind of all did like a exchange,
Mm-hmm.
Crisis on Infinite Earths. And it was just the main story. There's no tie-in, no
No.
nothing, which
Yep.
is amazing. I'll read that. But if I want the whole story, I'm not buying it in omnibus form.
Right. I get it. I get it. I understand. But like with Crisis, I mean, if you wanted tie-ins for Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's basically every title that was out for
I have
DC
no
at that
problem with
time.
that.
I know you don't, but some people do. And like just like the main story, the main events that are taking
Mm-hmm.
place, that's the most important to read. And then I think with something like what I got you for Christmas, the trade for Crisis, that now gives you the opportunity to go and dive into
And
Teen
just pull it right
Titans,
out
yep, or
and just check
Batman or
out.
Superman, and see what was going on during those, or in those issues during that event.
Right. And that
Yeah.
gives me the ability, like I said, I could not have to dig through everything to find, those
Yep.
12 issues. And I can just pull it off the shelf, read it, have my, nostalgia come back from the time that, it made DC possible.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, if it's something that I'm gonna be missing issues on, I'm not in for it because,
Right.
as me being me, I don't want to miss out.
Agreed. Agreed. I understand. Okay, so I think that's a good spot to end that conversation here then. So
Mhm.
so it's safe to say that single issues are definitely on the top of your list. Trades only if they have the completed story. Me, on the other hand, I agree with you on the latter, but the former, single issues are not necessarily tops. Trades and
Right.
single issues are kind of even for me. All right, Jamie, before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to say to our fine and wonderful audience?
Yes, I do, as I'm waving my pen. And just noticed. So I'm turning into you slowly. Um, no, guys, as always, be kind to one another. As I always say, please drop some comments down below. Tell us what you think, or drop some comments on, any of our social medias. As always, comment, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any more of the content we are going to be putting out. Because guys, we changed up so much, and there's so much more to come. And by the time this airs, you have already seen who the newest member of our team is.
Yeah.
Can't wait for you guys to actually sit back and meet him. So, as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one.
And once again, guys, don't forget you can check us out on all the social media platforms and anywhere podcasts are streamed. All you have to do is type in the Codex Station, and there we are. Make sure to follow us on social and follow us wherever podcasts are streamed. Once again, my name is Tim. This wonderful guy over here is Jamie. This is Breaking the Code, and we will see you next time.